Biden administration is the one that is already illegally letting these people into the country. His catch and release program at the border is illegal. The law requires you to detain these people, not to release them. All of his parole programs, where he's taking in 30,000 people a month from each of these countries, also completely illegal. So if he's already breaking the law to let these people into the nation, why not break the law again and give them work permits? And there's precedents for this, right?
Welcome to the Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Bedford, and I'm here today with commentary editor Conn Carroll. And Conn, the migrant crisis, especially in New York, is coming to a head right now. To start off, just give us an update on why New York Governor Kathy Hochul and New York City Mayor Eric Adams are getting desperate.
Sure. So Mayor Adams in particular is desperate because New York has other laws that say people have to be housed. The city has to pay to house them. So New York City is spending close to like $4 or $5 billion a year trying to house all these migrants that have been, not even most of them have even shipped from New York by Texas governor or everyone else. They're just coming to New York because that's where they hear jobs are. Mm-hmm. So New York is spending just billions of dollars trying to house these people. New York has run out of room, so now they're busing them upstate New York to Buffalo, to other communities, and those communities definitely don't want them. And so what you're seeing is that the Democrats that are taking in these migrants say, look, this situation would be just a little less worse if the migrants got their work permits faster. So basically what happens is when these migrants are illegally released into the United States, they can apply for work permits after they've been in the country for 6 months. They want to shorten that down to 30 days. And so the Biden administration is saying, oh, look, we have this problem. We have all these people that want to work. Congress really should come along, pass a law, and say that they only have to wait 30 days and not 6 months. So my point is, look, the Biden administration is the one that is already illegally letting these people into the country. His catch and release program at the border is illegal. The law requires you to detain these people, not to release them. All of his parole programs, where he's taking in 30,000 people a month from each of these countries, also completely illegal. So if he's already breaking the law to let these people into the nation, why not break the law again and give them work permits? And there's precedents for this, right? I mean, back in 2012, or before 2012, President Obama said over 20 times that he had no authority to give work permits to dreamers, to kids that have been in the country illegally. Then he said, oh, you know what? Suddenly I found the legal justification. We are going to have deferred action. We're going to give all these people work permits. And he did. And considering that Obama completely illegally created the DACA program, there's nothing stopping Biden from illegally giving these people work permits as well.
What's the argument against handing out the work permits? What are some of the negative implications of shortening that window?
I mean, the one would be the legality of it, but also you're cementing these migrants in the United States. The more they're able to get jobs, everything else. When they come up for their asylum hearings, judges often will look at equitable reasons why they should be allowed to stay. And so the whole scheme behind Biden's illegal parole program is you let more migrants in, you create a backlog for the asylum process. The longer the asylum process takes, the more of these equity factors pile up, and the more likely they will be allowed to stay forever.
And so what happens if they don't typically get their work permits in 6 months? Do some of them self-deport? Did some of them go back?
Absolutely. That have. Remember what's so great was when you look at reporting on this, when Politico recently came out with a story, and they asked the migrants, why are you here? And they said, we're here for money. We're here to work, to send back. They did this great interview with this guy who came here alone, and he's here from Venezuela to work and send back money to his family. If you cut that off, if they're not able to send money back to their family, then they don't come in the first place. It's as simple as that.
And finally, give us an update on what's happened since the end of Title 42. That first month, Biden administration pointed to the number of crossings between borders had fallen, and they sort of touted that as evidence. Like, see, there's no negative implications, and we haven't heard much from them after that.
We haven't, and to be fair, the official numbers haven't come out yet. They're late, which means they're bad. They're late. We have had some leaks out of DHS, unofficial numbers that say they're basically just as bad as they ever were. So you had an all-time high bad before Title 42 ended. They fell for that 1 month in June, and now, according to some preliminary leaks, they're pretty bad again, but we don't have the official numbers. And until we do, I'm not going to say it's a complete disaster again, but it's probably a complete disaster.
You heard it here first. Conn, thank you so much for being here
Absolutely.
today. You can get more writing from Conn and the rest of the commentary team at washingtonexaminer.com.